Hey riders, good morning. It's December 3rd, and here we are to cover another race. This is a race that is put on by Jills, who's part of the Discord group that I've set up. I'm probably not the most active person in it, but I'm there. There's quite a few riders in it. If you would like, you can find the link on the YouTube channel, the Rouvy Riders channel. I was supposed to be in this race as well, but my wife organized something last night. She asked me, when can you go? I said 9 for some reason. 9 a.m. this morning. This race begins at 8 a.m. I have a half-hour drive to do. I wouldn't be able to do the race, get out of the shower, get all my other stuff done. So anyways, I thought I'm going to try to record it. So here we are. I have updated the app. I've been one of the holdouts where I haven't updated. So here you're seeing the new layout, the new presentation style for the racing. The one thing I have noticed though is that when you go to events, this is something that I think is everyone's pet peeve. So you can see here I've joined. There should be a watch button at some point, but for some reason there's not. So I think what I'm going to have to do here, we still got 5 minutes to go till the start, is I'm going to have to just do a quick refresh and jump. So I won't catch maybe the first few seconds. Hopefully that's all it is. If that's all it is, I'll be okay. So what I want to do is let's look at the start list here and see who I know. Well, here's Bashak. Very, very active member in our Discord group. He's all over Facebook. Super strong rider. Check out the FTP. He's a youngster. He's only 43 years old. He's just a sweet young one, right? I'm sure lots of these people have been invited to the group. Friends of friends. Here's me. Old timer, I guess. Somewhat old. I won't be racing, but I'm leaving myself on the start list for now. We've got Gilles, race organizer. And this race series, folks, we've been running them every Sunday. I think we're on the third or fourth one now. I think I've only done one. They're growing every week, so this might be a new weekly series. We're going to find a lot of active racing going on. It's at a great time. It's 8 o'clock for me. I'm Mountain Time, Canada, so, I'm 3 hours from the Eastern Seaboard. And, in Europe, it would be, whatever it is, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, depending where you are in Europe. So we can kind of get both groups joined up here. And you can see that from the start list. Austrians, Americans, Canadians, Brits, looks like Portuguese or Belgians. We've got a German guy here. So, yeah, we got Jill's in here. Grandad Rick, he's a member of the Discord group. Glad to see him here. I'm just going to try to see all the names that I know. Kreisen, part of our Discord group. Lloydie, I've seen him around quite a bit. Let's just find our way down. Purple Bengal. It's the infamous, I don't want to say infamous, famous Purple Bengal. This is Maxine. Super killer rider. She's so strong on the hills. I've commentated her once before. My first ever audio commentary was Captain Fermentor. She was in that race. I love following her. I've been in a race with her. On the flats, I'm ahead. Hit the hill, she blows right by me. Good for her. Rocket17. Rocket's part of our Discord group. And here's Roger. Here's a huge shout out to Roger today. Roger just completed the Col de la Lotes. That's the 2 hour plus ride. I think it's just shy of 2,000 meters of climbing. So 6,500, 7,000 feet for our Imperial friends. And then Roger's going to be in the race today, so good for him. He's really putting in a big training day. Sornell, I know Sornell quite well, ridden with him a lot. Not so much recently, but glad to see him here. 7:58 on my time. SR71, I've seen this name all around a lot before too. Active on Facebook. What I know about SR71, cool name by the way, is he does these kind of like reverse races where he does a ride where he gives everyone else a head start and tries to hunt them down, which I think is so cool. I think it's a group ride, I would imagine. I'm not really sure how that works. I guess, does the magnet pull them back a little bit, but you've given them a big head start? I'd love to learn more about it. Jump in our Discord, SR71, or find my Rouvy channel on YouTube. So that's where we're at, folks. The rest of these people, I've probably seen names. I'm kind of just scrambling here, trying to do this refresh. to see if it'll let me join. So you can see here, you're going to go to your home screen. And now that I've done the update as of yesterday, that's how long I've held out. I'm going to do a new starter guide version 2.0 / December 2023 because my old starter guide is so out of date. However, most of my old starter guide was the actual in-riding part of Rouvy, not kind of this presentation screen, which is a billion times better now. I've seen lots of questions about it, so I think I'm going to have a lot of answers. Let's go back to events. I think I'm just going to have to keep refreshing it, so if you can just put up with me here for a little bit. This should be a very fast race. It's only 7 kilometers long. So if I go to events, upcoming events, see, here it's going to be, so it's going to say, see, I still can't join. It says starts in like 1 minute. So I think if I go to home and then go to events again, let's just hope this works. I'm going to try to record it. I'll do the best I can here. I know I'm using a different mic right now, which I hate using. So there's the joined event. And so I'm not even sure if I'm going to have to go to like running events. So it's 8 o'clock now here for me. This ride should have started. See, I can't join in here right now. So I think I have to go back to home. And you know what? These guys are going to hammer right off the beginning. So I'm really hoping I can find this quick. We're looking, folks. Events. I think these should be the current events, I would imagine. Epics of North America, that's not it either. See, these are already racing for 3 hours, already racing for 1 minute. It's not that one, it's not that one. Women only. Okay, folks, that's too long of a ride. That looks like another Col de la Lotes. So what I'm going to do is hit events again, and I'm going to go to my joined events, and just please, current events right here, joined, watch. Okay, we're in. We are in. Let's get ready. There'll be some huge watts being dropped at the very beginning, 5-6 watts per kilo right off the rip. It's a 7 kilometer long course, and thanks for bearing with me here. This is the best I can do right now. With, I think, it's sub 300 meters of climbing, so here we go. Let's get right to the rip here at the front. V Cycling at the front, seen this name around a lot. Here's Bashock is currently sitting in 3rd place, blasting out 300 plus watts. Bashock is leading a group of Hardy, T. Swiderski, Grandad Rick. Jills is right there. Looks like there's a pack of 5-6 riders all together. Let's just see. Yeah, so there's 2 at the front. So V Cycling and Gilles Matteo have about a 90-meter lead over our group of 6 or 7 that are behind. Everyone here is pushing over 3 watts per kilo. Hardy, 3 watts per kilo. T, here's Jills. I've known Jills over 2.5 years. Excellent rider, only gets stronger every year. Grandad Rick, one of our Discord members. Apparently Grandad Rick's a pretty strong rider hanging here with this group. Good to see you out there, Rick. I think Rick is one of Roger's friends, and Roger's another longtime friend on Rouvy for me. Jills and Roger were the first 2 people I ever really hooked up with on Rouvy. So awesome they're here, so great they're part of the Discord group. Let's bang back a bit now, everyone. Let's take a look at Roger here. Roger, since I've known him, has become a very, very strong rider. He's stronger than I am right now. That's a fact. And look who's behind him. It's Purple Bengal. I just love the name Purple Bengal. So back to Roger again quickly. He's still riding at 3 watts per kilo here. Roger's already done a ride that's taken him over 2 hours this morning and climbed almost 2,000 meters in elevation. So to see him sitting here mid-pack or at the front of the field is pretty impressive to me. This is dedication to our Discord group and Rouvy racing in general. So we got Purple Bengal just trailing Roger, trying to gap up to him. She's got a bit of a lead over Rocket 17. Rocket's part of the group as well. If you ever watch this video, so this video is December 3rd, 2023. and you've got friends that want to join the group, just please invite them or ask someone how to invite them. 14, 15, let's see how many riders we got. Here's SR71. Banging out solid 3 watts per kilo. Looks like about a 80 kilo rider, so big strong rider. Coming up on Honest Jack. There was 28 registered. I just want to get a rider count here quickly. So this is what I like about watching. I can go down through everyone. Looks like Sornel is having problems with connection here. We've lost one rider who's disconnected. Was riding 27. So there was 28 registered. I was 28th. I didn't start the ride. Okay, Soren's back. I think he was having problems there with his connection. But let's get right back to the beginning. The front of the race, V Cycling and Jill are still there. Gil, I guess, Matteo. These guys are riding 5 watts per kilo up the climb. So they're starting the climb. So this is an uphill race all the way with some flat sections. The beauty of it is that I like these kind of climbs. A little bit shorter, kind of like we call this our FTP extravaganza blowout ride for the week. I guess maybe that's what I called it. And probably Bashak as well. The climbs aren't brutal. They're in that 7% range. So this is like right in that big ring range still. So you're not going to be spinning out of control. So we've got 2 riders that are roughly 160 meters ahead of a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 riders, it looks like. Gilles is right there. Yeah, there's a good group here. So there's 7 riders chasing. We've got an 8th rider who's 50 meters back, trying to bridge up at 4 watts per kilo. It's this Tony Yeager. I think this person was invited here by someone in the group. Coming up hard right now. Looks like a 60 to 70 kilogram rider. And here you can see Purple Bengal's making the move now. When it starts climbing, Purple Bengal do not mess with. Roger is still riding really strong too. Like, that's really impressive today after that climb. Maybe his legs are warmed up really good. Maybe that's what you do, is ride a 2,000 meter plus climb and then go racing right afterwards. Maybe that's a weekly event for us now. Only kidding there, folks. Rocket is right there trailing Roger. They should group up together and work together. Wow, Roger, I didn't know this. Roger's a level 78 and Rocket's a level 75. Impressive. Look at all these levels here. Purple Bengal's an 84. We got a 70, a 78. I'm probably the lowest. I think I'm a 64 right now. So Gil and V Cycling looks like they're swapping. Ooh, looks like Gil's pushing on. Has there been a little bit of a break? There is a bit of separation here. We're talking 16 meters, so any bit of draft is gone now. There will be a tiny bit of draft here. Let's see if V Cycling can pull this back when it gets a bit flatter, when the draft will be a little bit more helpful. 4.5% gradient here. The next group back is 250 meters back. They all work together. They could probably pull them back on this next little flat part of the step. So you've kind of got like a flat at the beginning with a step, a flat where we are at right now with V Cycling. They're kind of on the flat, 2%. This is big ring territory. Oh, hey, there's a snowman right there. Keep going, everyone. V Cycling is trying to pull back, pushing 4.5 watts per kilo versus Gil's 3. And they're coming back. I think Gil's might be waiting here. Or Gilles. Not really sure what their name is. You know who I'm talking about, though? Yep. Blows right by them. See if they're going to do any work here together. Looks like they're working together because they're both doing the same watts. Actually, second place rider Gil has to drop a few more watts to catch up and get in the draft. Right at 7 meters. Okay, so here's our really strong group behind us here. These guys should work together now and try to push on this flat. Everyone here is riding 3.5 watts, 3 watts, depending, where they're at in the draft. Okay, so it looks like we've got 3 riders who've gapped out 40 meters on Grandad Rick. I'm just going to say Hardy. I hope that's the name. Yeah, it sure looks like it. If I look at their little avatar, it looks like Hardy. Gilles, so there's 2 people together here, Grandad Rick and Hardy, and then we're going to go back to Gilles, who's fallen back about 50 meters, but is with another rider right beside them. So there's 2 here together. So they had a little bit of split on the climb. Purple Bengal is coming up 110 meters behind. I would suggest to the riders ahead, they need to accelerate away on the flats from Purple Bengal here and try to get enough of a lead for the next climb that's coming up. And speaking of the next climb, let's jump back to the front and see what's going up there. They're hitting the next step up on this climb. Again, climbing all the way, 1-2%, and then kicking up to 6-7. You know, I wouldn't be riding these kind of watts, but I would ride this big ring all the way myself. Big ring with a crunchy back gear because the chain's bent so much, right? Yeah, these two are obviously working together. I'm not sure if they know each other or not. Probably when you see these caliber of riders pushing 5 watts per kilo, they probably raced against each other a lot in the past. So they pushed out 400 meters on the group behind them, and that's because as the group behind them was chasing on the hill, these two riders ahead were already on the flat, the 2% false flat stuff, getting that distance, rubber banding these people out. So that 400 meters you're seeing right now is going to come down, and you can see it right before your eyes. Look at Bashak's numbers. Look at the distance just coming down, 390, 385. They're on the flatter section, catching the two riders ahead as they're fighting their way uphill at 7-8%. So you'll see a lot of that going on. It's just who's going to crack, who's not going to crack. So we now have roughly, we have 3 riders together in the second group. A little bit of a break, but not much to Grandad Rick and Hardy. They're really not, they're like 70 meters behind the Bashak group. So I'm thinking they're going to catch up on this hill. Looks like they're working well together. And yeah, the Gilles group, Gilles and Jay Grimar, are right there as well. Purple Bengal is coming up. So it looks like they didn't get away on that flat section in between, or Purple Bengal's just really dropping some good watts. She's a really good climber. And she will be joining these folks ahead real quick here on this climb, I believe. Let's drop back. I see Rocket here. Looks like Rocket and Roger are working together. Roger's just a little bit back, but again, Roger's already climbed 2,000 meters today, so good for him being here. Here's SR71. And SR71, please join our Discord. I'd love to learn more about your little race thing that you put on. I know it's every Thursday mornings, I believe. In fact, I think you put a post out last week that you couldn't lead it last week, and I believe Lloydie took over. Actually, I think Lloydie was in this. I'd love to learn more about your event. Reach out to one of us if you know someone here. Let's go find out where Lloydie is. I believe he was here. And I thought that was his name. Maybe he didn't join. Okay, well anyways. I've seen him around quite a bit. See him on Strava. I better get right back to the front, folks. I'm just kind of daydreaming everywhere here. Okay, so here we go. We're back on false flat stuff now. 1.5%, 2%. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to ride today. I did the German hill climbing gem yesterday. Super low RPMs. Kind of thinking I'm a little bit out of shape, but not by much. Like, it's not far off. But that ride yesterday, I averaged 63 RPMs, which is way too low. Just kind of, you know, it's hard to put the power out when you're just fighting the gears all the way. So I'm thinking maybe I'm going to buy one of those 3-bys for the front, a touring bike with all the gears in the world, so I can make it a bit easier than spinning at 60 RPMs. And, you know, and that's my average too. That includes the fast flat stuff and the bit of downhills. So on the hills, I was in the 50s. Okay, so we got the 2 riders at the front still. They now have a 700 meter lead because they're on the flat again, pulling it out, as the people behind are riding at 14 kilometers an hour. They are blasting ahead at 35. So there's all this rubber banding, accordion going on. So a lot of times when you're racing, what you want to do, and even if you're just getting chased by someone, is get that one little hill or that one little bump in between you, and it makes it very hard for the other person to catch up, because eventually the ride will be over before they have a chance. So these guys, again, are blasting away close to 40k an hour, and the riders behind, okay, now they're on the flat. They're just getting up to speed, 27, 28k an hour. Looks like we have 2 riders together, T. Swiderski and Z, which is called Z for now, with a Polish name that I can't pronounce, I believe. Looks like Wojciech at the end. I know that part. And then we're going to bounce back. Oh, Bashak's got him by himself. He needs to try to bridge up here. This is a tough spot for Bashak. Super strong rider. Very powerful. I think he's going to try to bridge up because he doesn't want to wait for the riders that are behind. So he's sitting in fifth. Third place is dangling 35 meters ahead of him. Come on, Bashak, let's do this. If it's going to flatten out a bit here, I think Bashak will have a bit of an advantage here on the flats. Yeah, just from what I can see that you folks can't see who are currently racing, Bashak has higher power numbers overall, like absolute wattage. Not watts per kilo, but wattage. He's a bigger, stronger rider. So I'm thinking he might be able to pull him back here. Let's see how this goes there. So they're already on the flat before he got there, so they've stretched out a little bit. Looks like T was taking a bit of a rest there behind Z. Okay, so let's just jump away. We got Grandad Rick and Hardy still together. Grandad Rick's got a little bit of a break here. Must have just pushed a bit on the flat before Hardy realized it. And here's Purple Bengal coming up still. Purple Bengal is bringing Jay Grimar up. Gilles is only 50 meters back. Gilles is riding kind of in no man's land again. 50 meters ahead is Jay Grimar, but then it's 300 meters back to Tony here, level 70 Tony, who I don't know. Oh, it's Tony Yeager. Okay, I've seen that name mentioned in our group. Tony is riding just ahead of, oh no, he's got about 250 meters ahead of Rocket. Roger's still hanging in there super strong here. Good job, Roger. Oh, my end. It looks like Gilles already finished. I missed that. So Gilles finished. Second place would have been V Cycling. Let's keep a close eye here. This finished really fast at the end. So here we got Wojciech riding with T. Swiderski side by side. We got a level 63 and a level 53, both pushing in excess of 4 watts per kilo here. Look like 80 kilogram riders, something like that, 80 and 70 kilogram riders. Bashak's only 42 meters back. Now, depending how steep this last part of the gradient is here, we are at 6%, 6.5%. Bashak might be able to sprint up to them. He's got a good sprint at the end. Purple Bengal is now in 6th spot overall, using the climbing advantage to claw the way back up through the field. In fact, there's 3 people. Grandad Rick, one of our group members, is right in the next group down. There's 3 of them riding together. Here's Frosty the Snowman again. Give him a wave, Bashak. Okay, here's coming to a flat here. Okay, so yeah, 26 meters ahead. Can Bashak sprint up to the next rider? The race is almost done. No, it just finished right here. It finishes right when you get into the tunnel. I wish I knew this ride better. I would have known where the finish was. So let's just focus on this part here. We got Purple Bengal. So just wanted to quickly point out the winners of this race finished well under 50, like in 15 minutes. Looks like. I think we're at 17 minutes now, according to the timer at the top. So we're gonna have a 3-way sprint here for the finish. Grandad Rick's in there. Come on, Rick. Now you got to sprint. The tunnel is the finish line. It caught me off guard. Okay, Grimar's going. Jay Grimar's is going for it. Purple Bengal's going. Rick's happy with 8th place, it looks like. So here we go. Finish, finish, finish. I'm going to jump straight to Hardy. They're coming up next with Gilles chasing hard. Let's get on Gilles here. He's the race organizer. Shout out to Gilles for putting these on every week. I think we can grow these every week. Hoping maybe my videos can help. They might turn people off, but we'll soon see. Gilles gets a solid 10th place finish. 3.8 watts per kilo. We are now bouncing back to 11th place with Tony again. Rocket and Roger are only 200 meters behind, coming up fast on Tony, but with this 200 meter gap. Let's jump back to Roger. He's chasing after Rocket. Roger's quite racy. You know, again, Roger's already climbed 2,000 meters today. I honestly believe maybe he had an hour break in between. So a little bit of recovery time, but not much. So Tony should be just finishing up ahead of us. I'm just going to stay right here on Roger for all the work he's done today. Then we've got a group of 2 riders. Vlado Zhu, I'm not sure who that is, with SR71. Looks like they're riding together. That'll be a good sprint finish, I believe. So Rocket is just over 30 meters ahead. This would be a pretty hard gap to break right now. So Rocket's going to finish 12th with Roger in 13th. Then I'm going to jump back and just focus on SR71, see how their finish goes. I might ride this ride today. I'm kind of looking for something to do now. After this is done, I got to get out of here. Kind of pushing my time limits as it is. So Rocket's done. Here comes Roger. Great job again. That's a solid day. I think you've earned a few pints today, Roger. Let's jump to SR71. Let's get a sprint here. So they've got 350 meters to go here. The whole route only had 264 meters of climbing, I believe. So they're going through these little avalanche tunnels. These are pretty common in the Rocky Mountains where I live. So the snow and rocks can fly over top where you're driving. In fact, this is what the roads are like. The main highway through Canada in the Rockies looks just like this. It's one lane wide on each side as you go through these runoff areas. It's really not. And SR71's pushing ahead. Just dropped 4 watts per kilo. Solid 80 kilogram rider. It's got an 8 meter, 9 meter buffer. Just keep pushing. Vlado's doing 3.4, so they're going to have to do something really special to catch. Looks like SR71 just wrapped up 14th place. Vlado's probably like, okay, I'm satisfied with this. It'll give me a 15th. Here's the snowman jumping up and down again for our Christmas rides. So nice job, SR71. Again, if you see us around, jump into the Discord. Love to have you there. 14th place. Vlado's going to get 15th. I'm going to go down through the pack here. Eat more cake. Who is Eat More Cake? I like the idea, though. So I can see here Sorinel has disconnected. So we've had 3 disconnects here, which is unfortunate. Our wide body. Bring up the rear, hang in there. Level 82 rider, so obviously does a lot of riding. So we've had 3 that disconnected somehow. That could be home internet issues. It could be just communication with their router. There's so many different reasons why you'll disconnect. We had 3 here out of 27, it looks like, or they could have just disconnected themselves. Working our way up through the pack. Riders doing 2 watts per kilo here. Here's Eat More Cake, just under 2. I don't know this rider. I don't know how you even say that. Naradra? Naradra. Yep, here we go. Pushing good, 3 watts per kilo. We've got Thomas A. coming through the tunnels again. Barnsley 3000. These are a lot of new names to me here. And here's our 18th place rider. I heard my app bleep a couple times as people across the finish line. It just bleeped again. So people are finishing just ahead. So here's 18th place finishing. I think maybe I'll go down to 20th place. It's 8:22 my time, and I've got a half-hour drive ahead of me to get somewhere. Got to get the coat on and the shoes on out the door, right? It's cold out. Got to warm up the car. It's winter in Canada, although it's pretty warm right now. So let's do down to 20th place, I believe, and then I'm going to have to call the video quits. I hate to do that. So nice job here for the 18th place finisher. Here are 19th. This is Barnsley 3000. Doing a nice ride. Still pushing good. Looks like about, I like to guess everyone's weight, the 75 kilogram rider roughly. Just based on their 70 to 75, I guess. And then Thomas A. will be our 20th place finisher. We do have other riders coming up. We have Naradra, Eat More Cake, Rosa Duke. Our wide body is our Red Lantern today. Red Lantern is a famous thing from the old days of dog mushing, dog sled racing. I used to do that for 20 years. I raced dogs across Western Canada. The Red Lantern is, it's a prize that you want. It's the lanterns hung out for the last place finisher to help them find their way home. In the olden days, when people were out trapping in the north, their wives would hang out with the lantern at night, and they were painted red. That was the standard brand at the time, so that it would help her husband find his way home in the pitch black, back in the old days when they were done trapping. So anyway, folks, this is just on the spur of the moment, fly kind of thing. Nice finish here by Thomas. I love seeing people drop watts at the end just to prove you can do it. 6.5 watts per kilo. Nice job, Thomas. So we're going to cut it short here, folks. I don't have time to watch everyone. Appreciate everyone watching. Find our Discord channel. Join it. Please be involved in the conversation. Great job, everyone. See you around.